Britain will pay a heavy price for not intervening in Syria, says Blair, in warning the world must not be afraid to take sides. Tony Blair today warned Britain will pay a heavy price for failing to intervene in Syria. So just what will that price be, Blair? The West are already intervening in Syria. They've been funding and arming the so-called rebels. The rebels that are widely regarded as Al-Qaeda. These are the rebels that you say you would have backed a couple of years ago, the same rebels that the UN said fired chemical weapons, not Assad. Remember chemical weapons, Blair? They are the weapons that America sold Saddam Hussein and that you took us to war over, in full knowledge that Saddam no longer had these chemical weapons. Remember the Downing Street memos, Blair? The article goes on. The former Prime Minister again defended his decision to invade Iraq and warned of the consequences of non-intervention in Syria. Wasn't this his playbook with Iraq? We have to act. There will be consequences of non-intervention. So what do you think the consequences of non-intervention in Iraq would have been? For starters, there wouldn't have been over 1 million people killed by Blair, would there? Also, maybe the lives of the Iraqis would be a lot safer now, believe it or not, had Blair not done what Blair did. The only consequences of non-intervention in Syria that I can see is that by not supporting Al-Qaeda in Syria, then we don't involve Iran, we don't involve Russia, we don't involve China, and we don't start World War III. But funny enough, Blair's right in this article, to a point. Radical Islam has become an issue. But the issue I have, and almost everyone with a brain will also have with Blair, is that had he not illegally invaded Iraq, and had he not started war with Afghanistan, remember, 17 of the 19 hijackers on 9/11 were from Saudi Arabia, so let's invade Afghanistan. That's a good idea. Anyway, had he not started war in Afghanistan, then the chances of Al-Qaeda being given weapons by the West to help them spread across the world, which is what Blair's talking about, would have been damn right zero. Pretty much impossible. Blair is part of the problem. His actions when he was in office was pretty much the starting point to where we are now. He should be arrested and thrown in jail for crimes against humanity. Because Blair is a war criminal, he shouldn't be allowed any airtime whatsoever. And I'm surprised at Murdoch allowing him airtime on Sky News. After all, wasn't Blair shagging his wife? This man, having illegally invaded Iraq, having killed over 1 million people, is now flying around the world on £7,000 an hour private jets, getting millions for so-called speeches. The millions he gets is nothing more than payment from his paymasters because in their eyes he did a good job by invading Iraq. And now it's time to use Blair again to promote more war, more death. What will happen now is that there will be talk about helping Syria. No doubt there'll be another Commons vote, and this time they'll say yes, and we will then start killing more innocent people in another far-off land. We won't know who we'll be fighting for or who we'll be fighting against. God only knows who's fighting there. And I bet you we also will soon be back in Libya because that place is a right mess after NATO killed up to 60,000 innocent people for humanitarian reasons. So when the war drums start beating again, just picture this arrogant, smirking fuckwit getting all that money. And remember that it was he who started this. He has destroyed the lives of millions of people, and he openly says he would do it all again. Well, he's trying to, but this time in Syria. But it won't be his son fighting over there. Oh no, you'll all be an MP in some lovely safe Labour seat somewhere, being buggered by shaggy gay Tories, no doubt. We need to, as Cameron would say, do the right thing and lock this murdering scumbag up for the rest of his life.